Why did you become a candidate, and what would you like to achieve?
What would I like to achieve? So I want to become a candidate for the same reasons that I ran municipally in 2022, which is protecting our natural spaces from overdevelopment, from development pressures, especially at the provincial level. We're seeing, radical underfunding of municipalities, radical underfunding of good public sector, so healthcare, education, conservation authorities, for example. So I want to achieve correcting that. I want to bring back the Ontario that we know and love. I want to make sure that everybody is connected to a family doctor or a nurse practitioner. I want to make sure our hospitals stay open. I want to make sure that the green belt stays intact. I want to make sure that we have a food belt so that we are keeping farmland intact. Right now we're losing 320 acres of farmland every day in this province, almost a million since Doug Ford took office. We need to reverse those policies. We need to revitalize our downtowns by building up, not out. We need to invest in stemming the homeless crisis upstream by providing care to folks who need it. All of that actually saves money, doesn't cost money, because you don't have to deal with it through the police system or through the healthcare system. So there's a whole lot of things I want to achieve. I also want to achieve changing the way that we govern. Right now we have this system where if you vote for the other three major parties, the MPP is the leader's voice in your riding. When you vote for a Green, you get your voice at Queen's Park. That's a fundamental difference between the Green Party and the other parties. And so people are sick and tired of government in general and politics in general. That's a big part of it. So I want to achieve just giving a little bit of hope back to people who think that the system is broken. Because they're right, it is broken. We need to unbreak the system.
And are you or your party aware of global resource limits and the effects they have on policies and what can be accomplished?
Yeah, I mean, if what you mean by global resource limits, if you mean natural resources.
Yes.
Yeah, then absolutely. I mean, we as Greens, of course, we're acutely aware that natural resources are finite. They're non-renewable, whether that's, oil and gas or aggregate, lithium, any of those things. We can't grow exponentially or indefinitely. So we have to be very mindful, and this is why we're a party that is so focused on moving towards a renewable energy and a society that isn't centered around pure consumption. Right? We need to make sure that we have a strong economy, that people are housed and cared for, but we can't stay on this trajectory of rampant consumption forever. There is a natural limit on this planet.
And so considering that within the next 10 to 20 years, we probably won't have enough fossil fuels for industrial agriculture and commuting to work and things like that, and then we also don't have enough minerals to do the green transition, would you be supportive of a human right to land so people could grow their own food, firewood, families, and businesses if they wanted?
It's an interesting concept. I would say as a Green member of the Green Party, we love to sit down with constituents, we love to sit down with our electors, we love to sit down with groups, and we love to listen. This is the first I've ever heard of a human right to land. I would love to sit down and learn more.
Okay, great. And so, common question I was asked to ask you was if you would support the nurses and doctors who were fired over the mandates that they can come back to work.
That's another, again, I would love to sit down. I'm not a virologist, and I am not a healthcare practitioner either. So, this is it was deeply divisive then, it's deeply divisive today. I would certainly welcome again the opportunity to sit down, perhaps a citizens' assembly, perhaps a council of individuals who have good answers to these questions, and I would love to sit down and work with them to come to some sort of solution.
And what is the number one policy that you want to see whoever gets elected implement?
Electoral reform. That's number one. I mean, we have a whole lot of things to deal with in this province, but I really want to make it very clear that Doug Ford has a majority government right now with 43% of the popular vote, and about 40% of people actually voted. That means 1 in 5 Ontarians voted for Doug Ford, and he has 100% of the power. We need electoral reform. The Greens would typically poll at around 10% in this province. We would poll a lot higher. We know that if we had proportional representation, if people felt that their vote mattered and they didn't feel like they had to vote strategically. Every other major parliamentary democracy in the world uses some form of proportional representation. Canada is archaic, it's out of touch, it's out of date, it needs to be changed. Electoral reform is necessary now.
And closing remark?
The Greens are, I think, the party that is doing the most for moving the needle in terms of genuine political change, which is necessary in this province and in this country. I love Bruce Grey Owen Sound. I love Ontario. I want to protect the people and places that we love. And, I really think that we have a genuine chance of winning this riding. As Mike Schreiner says, if you want green, vote green.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.